the president has offered. For starters, we propose to cut $6.2 trillion in spending over the next 10 years from the president's budget. We reduce the debt as a percent of the economy. We put the nation on the path to actually pay off our national debt. Our goal here is to leave our children and our grandchildren with a debt-free nation. We offer $4.4 trillion in deficit reduction in the first 10 years alone. Our budget is our plan to tackle this country's greatest problems. If we don't take on these fiscal challenges head on, we will not be able to do this under our own terms in the kind of gradual, important, sensible way that we are proposing here today. My colleagues on the House Budget Committee were instrumental in laying this vision out and putting these numbers together. I also want to thank the people at the Congressional Budget Office who worked so hard overtime, overnight, to get all of this added up. With that, I would like to turn over to Congressman Jason Chaffetz from Utah, and our committee members are going to walk through the contours of this budget. Mr. Chaffetz.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks to all my colleagues here on the House Budget Committee. I happen to also be on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, and I think all of us are committed to change the way we're doing business in Washington, D.C. We're not here to perpetuate the status quo because the status quo is not working. The cuts are important because we need to be on a trajectory to actually maintain the fiscal sanity that is in this country. We want to restrain the explosive growth of bureaucracy, achieving a 10% reduction over the next 3 years in the federal workforce for attrition, coupled with a true pay freeze for the next 5 years and reform government workers' generous benefits. We want to end the corporate welfare and permanent bailout of Dodd-Frank. We want to take Fannie and Freddie off the backs of the taxpayers, and energy or agriculture focus on spurring competition and targeting investment, not having the government pick winners and losers from Washington, D.C. We're committed to these reforms. It'll be an exciting process moving forward. It's a pleasure to serve on this committee, and I think the American people will be excited that we're living up to the obligations and the commitments that we made in the Pledge to America in bringing back this Congress and bringing back the fiscal sanity that is so important to this country. Thanks, Chairman.
One of the things that we are also trying to achieve